I always say kind of great vision falls flat on rubbish execution. Because we often don't really understand the foundations, and Tom, I kind of wanted to talk to you because again, operational excellence. You and I talk about this a lot, and it's why we kind of pair up together the strategic vision and the operational excellence. As you think about the EU, and as Didier said, lots of complexity. We think about the Middle East as well, and lots of potential complexity there, or ease depending on who you partner with and how you do it. What should you think about from a shipping, fulfillment, logistical partner to be able to expand into the market of choice if you're a UK brand?
Yeah, I think intentional is definitely the word of the day. So I'm gonna,
Which is the same
my
thing.
team there in the room is,
You did it.
my team that are here are going to get that rammed down their throat. Yeah, I love that. But I think know your consumer, because the British consumer is different to the Europe. We're putting Europe under one banner, right? But the expectations of consumers in France are different to the consumers in Germany. Even just how people expect things to be delivered. Hudo or pick up, drop off points are huge in Europe. The percentage of deliveries that actually happen to locker points is massive compared to the UK, and the UK is actually we're all kind of gravitating towards that now as a bit of sustainability and convenience push, but that's kind of the norm. In Poland, where we've got a site that like 80% of deliveries to consumers are done to pick up and drop off points. So just really understanding the market that you're trying to sell into and making sure that you've actually got those services available on your website, because if you're just lifting and shifting what you did in the UK and saying, hey, I'm going to make next day delivery available in Poland, but you haven't done that integration into the pick-up, drop-off points, guess what? That's, you're going to be sitting there scratching your head saying, well, why is my conversion rate not what it is in the UK? But you just haven't fully understood the consumer, and you might be doing everything right from a marketing perspective, but if you haven't carried that through to logistical expertise, then you're going to fall down. Again, in the UK, we've become accustomed, courtesy of Amazon, to, I can order today and I can get it tomorrow. Actually, consumers in Europe in general are far more relaxed with like a 2 to 4 day delivery expectation. So you don't need to break a gut to get everything there with the same expectation of the UK consumer, and you can save yourself a lot of money by just doing a little bit of research up front and really understanding what it is that you're trying to compete against.
It's a really big financial decision when you move out of your home market. Particularly if you move in through bricks and mortar, but you're going to go on the channel because you must and you should. How should you? Is there anything different that you should do as you go into other countries, whether it's the US or anywhere else? What should you think about in your financial planning?
The reality is that equity will be the most expensive form of finance that you'll ever take, and for a lot of businesses that do raise equity finance, it can mean giving away to their business, obviously changes the controls and other things. So you can actually go very, very far without having to raise much equity at all. And so how we help brands is obviously funding one of the biggest costs in their business in terms of inventory. And as they expand into new markets, also that means buying more inventory as a starting point and producing more inventory. And sometimes it doesn't make sense to put equity into just some of those like standard working capital cycles, inventory purchasing cycles. So that's the thing that we can support very effectively and do so in a really cost-efficient way. And I think, just those various paths that brands take when it comes to the financing of the business. There's not one path that fits all.
James, e-commerce on the Middle East has just suddenly changed its game, and they are looking more and more at, even like Saudi opening up as an example. It's a massive market that's become unlocked really since COVID and in the last couple of years with different attitudes. How should they think about global e-commerce in some of those markets so you immediately think, oh my God, this is going to be really tough, really tricky?
Brands have a choice, and when we talk about going into a market, that is the choice. Do you want to go there and open up bricks and mortar? Do you want to work with agents in the country to distribute? Do you want to ship direct to consumer? Or do you want to set up a legal entity and ship to your own legal entity in country at a fair market value, so you're not paying the full duty and tax amount, which is going to really improve things. But brands really need to focus on understanding those markets and really understanding, right, I'm shipping this beauty product into this country. what are the regulations going to be for shipping this into the country? What is the right HS code to use for this product? Because when you're shipping makeup, one compound in that makeup, blush or whatever it is, could be the difference between a 20% tariff or a 50% tariff. And understanding really what the HS code is for that product, and then when you are shipping into that country, calculating the full landed cost in the transaction, so that you're shipping to the consumer and you're not in a situation where you've got an excited consumer who's been really excited to buy this product from you and been waiting for this, and then some hairy van driver turns up and says, "Here's your product. Now you owe me $50 in duties and taxes." These things. That's what defines the user experience as well.
Yeah. But you've actually almost got to think about when you're producing the product,
Yeah.
about the ingredients and what markets that might exclude you from, alongside your customs, your tariffs, etc. Just to finish up, it's that it's a changing game. The changing game is changing all the time. There is so much going on. It's like you can't sit still. You can't have a model and think, "Yeah, that's great. That works for me." It's continually moving and changing. But whether or not that is the distribution channels where we see mostly fueled by marketplaces, whether that's Amazon or whether that's Sephora opening up its own marketplace, which is going to be really interesting to see what happens there with the creator. But that e-commerce going to 31% of the business, and Amazon, they're taking 28% of that overall online number. It's become a huge part. You can't avoid it. You might be able to avoid big hairy van driver, but you can't avoid Amazon. Ask a question, have a chat, make great conversation, and I really love the fact that we've got community and beauty that is co-supportive of each other and that will trade ideas, magic secrets, magic recipes, expertise to make this industry as strong as it is.